All right, so I hope it's better now. Let me know. I think I found the problem, but I'm not entirely sure. Man, I'm so sorry, like I still need to figure out how to stream. You can see like I'm struggling with this. Okay. You can see like I'm struggling with this. Alright, but the thing is I changed my settings now, so I hope this is better. If not, I need to find a different way, but I think... Well, please let me know immediately when the stream is weird. Like, just let me know when the audio is like static again or whatever, like... Yeah. Alright, as I said, I have my subtool here and I wanted to work on the base color a bit more. If I change this now to flat color, this is what I have right now. And I'm not even sure if it is my latest. I believe it crashed at some point. I need to clean up my quick saves. I'm not sure if... Because I changed the color, let me load this one actually. I'm just opening up another script here just to see if that's better in color. Yeah, you see, this is the one I worked on actually, which is just a quick save, and maybe I went a bit too strong on these black dots, so I just need to neutralize it a bit and remove this green here. It looks a bit obviously too broken up, so let me just go into our HD mode. It's funky music. Like I might have found a way to actually listen to audio which will not be copyrighted on YouTube. So, and also let me know if the audio is too loud as well. Let me know if audio gets weird again. Alright, so now I'm in HD mode. It just means for me that it will retain all my my strokes. It will not blur out anything. So this is essentially the highest quality paint texture map I can paint. So what I wanted to do is go back into the spray mode and just this one, and pick my custom alpha, which I always forget to save, which should be in my Zbrush folder. And I have this dots, so if I change my brush size, oops, let me just move it to RGB, Z add off. So now I can see this is essentially my dots. And I'm just changing the color so it's not so fair. It's not, I reduce the variation essentially, so it's more like this. And then I can just do it very gently, just fade out these colors. And I'm just picking the surrounding colors by hitting C on the keyboard. It will pick like surrounding the color under the cursor essentially. And you might think, why is his face so really broken? And this person here lived in the desert all his life and it was exposed to the sun. And their skin essentially just gets really burned and they just break apart. That's where all these scratches come in. It's actually super interesting to see what happens to their skin. Well, super quiet still. I hope I will get a few more people. It might be a bit too early for some, but I thought we will just test out different times now, and hopefully we will get a good one for everyone to join. So I also have some blues in here, and I just want to get rid of that. Like it's okay to have some like really desaturated blues, but not green, which I have right now. Good morning to India. Hello, thanks for joining. It's good that the audio and video is good, and I hope it will stay this way. My Z intensity is way too strong. Yeah, that's a lot better. Now I can actually paint, yeah. And you can see it's very gentle. Like I'm just adjusting the color slightly just to get it a bit darker around the eyes here. You love my patience, yeah, man. I gotta get this stuff working. Oh, I hope you were talking about my patience about getting the stream working, or my patience on this portrait here. Because both, I need to be patient with both, I believe. Okay, that's a weird song. Can I shoot this? Oh, that's cool. Let me see what my stroke is doing. Yeah, it's a bit too much. That's better. You can now see that I'm slowly essentially erasing the darker spots. I did a test run with these, and it was just a bit too much. Like the Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think that's very important, and it just comes with experience that you need to learn to have fun working on your projects, I think. And if you have fun, I think then you have the patience, because you always want to make it like the best to your abilities. And yeah, and this is my first real attempt to do something photorealistic in terms of characters. So obviously I want to give it a good shot here and really try my best. And the good thing is I'm learning Zbrush again, and I'm going a bit more into the creative side again, which is really fun for me as well. So let's just introduce a bit of color here. It's a bit too dark. Yeah, thank you. And I'm planning to probably do a stream on Saturday, which is yeah, on the weekend, and I'm probably in the morning, like my morning, which is 10 AM probably, which is PST time, so it's probably in Europe around 3-4 PM, I believe. And I might be doing, I'm not sure yet, I might be doing something a bit more engaging with you guys, so we work on something together, or we do like some kind of review stuff. Yeah, mostly Indians. Yeah, I guess it's just a time, like the other countries are still asleep, which is fine. This is a good time for me to work, actually. I have my headphones on, listening to music, and which is always fun. Also, I learned a new hotkey here in Zbrush. What I always did when I was zoomed in super close, I never found out how to actually pan, and I always was doing this. Move and rotate through the menu, but I actually can just hold right click and do this, or alt right click to pan, and or release alt then to zoom. I knew you could do this on the outside with the left key, but not with the right click, which is nice. So that's something I learned, which is cool. You can see I'm just slightly erasing these things here. Yeah, is the audio too soft or is it too loud? Is it, let me know if the audio is not too distracting. I can actually show you the reference. I guess maybe most of you guys have seen it already, but I just want to show you. Audio's good. Okay, I just want to show you the like how broken the skin is actually. Is that all pics? Oh, there we go. So this guy, for instance, oops. So look at the skin of this guy, right? So they are from the same tribe. She's definitely not so bad, but she also has this messed up skin. Obviously, it's not ripped apart as this guy's skin is. Or this guy smoking. That's the same person. You can see like the lips are some kind of scarring or something, I don't know. Yeah, so these are my references I'm working off, and you can see like how really busted this skin is. It's crazy actually. But yeah, she's not too bad. She's got wasted teeth though. But yeah, anyways, let's keep going here. Okay, and we need to do some cleanup here. It's super green on the... this is pure ref. And also something to keep in mind is that skin in general is actually not red, and especially when you're starting out, you would think that the skin is red or has a red tone to it just because there's blood in it. But the albedo itself, albedo is the reflectance, is actually pretty desaturated. It's almost like gray, and the only thing which brings in the color is actually the subsurface scattering, which you introduce in the shader. So probably what I will do, I will desaturate the skin in the look depth scene just to get a more accurate representation. Okay, that is a weird comment there. Kosa, yeah. It's not those ones. It's called the San Bushman tribe. San Bushman tribe. I'm actually from Namibia, so I had the privilege to actually go to those tribes, man, and see how they live, and just yeah, be interested in their part of living in the desert. So, and I just thought this is a super great opportunity for me to just spend some time and just develop some kind of portrait. And this one is very weird. Alright, let me actually, I forgot to say hello to my Discord guys. Let's do this. Oh yeah, my family still lives down there, so I try to visit as often as I can, but it's obviously now with Corona happening, it's a bit difficult obviously to get there. Yeah, so I'm traveling there like when I'm lucky once a year. Hey, Jimmy. Yeah, I know. It's, oh man, this time zone concept is just crazy, man. I'm not sure what people were thinking. But yeah, I know it's I'm not even sure when for me is the best time to stream. Like, I definitely like to work at night. Like, I'm just a night person, and I'm super active. Like, probably I'm mostly up till 2 a.m. During the weeks. And I still get up early, but I'm more a night person. I love I don't know, the feeling of dark outside, and I don't know. That's why I'm just streaming always in the evenings. But on the weekends, I will try to be in AM, so I get the... Oh yeah, my camera is dead. Thanks, let me just fix that quick. Yeah, so what happens is I still need to replace batteries because I still don't have everything I need for streaming. Where's the thing what I'm looking for? So I just received this little thing which you plug into your camera, which will replace the battery, but there's another like connector which will get never into focus. Which still takes some time to ship because no one has it and everyone is streaming now and they don't have the parts anymore. So yeah, until then the camera will die. Yeah, I know. Camera, it's definitely ordered. It just takes a bit of time to show up here. Okay, so what I still need to do, I think, is add more of these cross-hatching texture. Like, you can see the skin is still ripping. And there's way more, like, I think there's way more contrast and breakup in here. So I'll just try to add a few more breakups, I think. It's also very like yellowish now around the eyes, so I just need to desaturate this. Let's go here, or something like that. Yeah, that's better. And right now I'm not working on symmetry anymore, just because I want to definitely just break it up and have a unique side, because she's super misformed, I would say, or not symmetric at all. So yeah. Alright, so let's change the mode to this and go a lighter color and see if this does work. Yeah, we just need to increase the strokes here. And I need to start to create my custom menus here in Zbrush. I need to do that soon because slowly I know where I always need to go, and just to be a bit faster. You can see now I'm adding these cross-hatched look. Hey, you want to know about lighting artist and look dev artist? Well, for me, it's super clear what the difference is. So look dev means it's short for look development, which means it's the guy who's a look dev artist is actually responsible to make an object look and feel like you want it, like the producer, whoever wants it to look like. So let's say you get a task to do an apple, right? The look dev artist will need to make sure that the surface looks like an apple. He's not texturing it, so he's not creating the textures. He's just assigning the specular roughness and the bump maps and all these things, right? This would be a look dev artist. And lighting is obviously the guy who places lights in the scene, who integrates the asset into the plate, for instance. That would be a lighting artist. So he's essentially, it's what you would do on a film set, right? If you have your your actor on set, you want to give him a nice room light. Essentially, that is what a lighting artist is. Let's see. I'm your fan. Yeah, appreciate it. Do I actually have the? Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, man. Thanks for all the nice words here on the chat. Who is this? PT chat, is that you, Jan, or what? I'm not sure. He might be trolling me. No. I'm not sure who that is. Must be a coworker, apparently. Yeah, so let's just leave it as this. Yeah, it is Yanni, Yanni boy. My French friend who's not talking to me, only on Twitch or YouTube. No, that's funny. Okay, I'm just adding more like wrinkles on. I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. It's still not where I want it to be, but I think it's at least a lot better than it was before we started today, so that's good. So I can just save this. And oh, it is the end. Yeah, you said that before already. Got it. So I just want to save it, and then I'm exporting the diffuse map here. And then we just do some more sculpting. I look red. Yeah, it's because yeah, the monitor is a bit reflective. Okay, yeah, it takes a bit of time to save the project. It's because I'm in HD mode, it saves like all the data. Okay, done. So what I can do now, is it actually done? Yeah. Okay, let's just go out of HD mode first. Morgan. Alright, so we're out of HD mode, so what I can do now is I just go to C plugin, multi-map exporter, texture poly paint, and I'm just exporting this in my little project directory. Source images, there you go. I'm not sure. There are way more pro players in the league than I am. I'm sure about that. But thank you. Ooh. So are you looking? Did you set only the one quality option? I'm not sure what you mean, Jimmy. About the quality setting on my stream. I can tell you that I'm using Restream IO, which might be limited in bandwidth. And let me see if there's more info. So I'm streaming with 2560 by 1440 on 30 FPS. Oh, hey Andrew. Nice to have you again. So you will be doing portfolio, right, on Saturday? Oh, it's still exporting, I think. Oh, on Sunday, okay. Interesting. Ah, juicy, too. Hey, David. Lots of violent people. Jan is also here, Jan Dupont. Like, he's the French connection. And it export text forever. Okay, there you go. Yeah. And as I can show it again. So this is like how messed up the skin is, like if you live in the sun all day. So yeah, it's definitely broken, but it's yeah, I guess it's supposed to look like that. Okay, let's just go in here. Oh, that's wacky music. I just have a YouTube playlist going, and there's sometimes so weird stuff. Alright, so what I want to do, I just want to break up, like I want to go in HD mode again. I just want to really sculpt more like super high detailed wrinkles in here. There's a massive French connection. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, it's very true. Like I'm working with them all. It's nice though, but there are definitely a lot of French people at ILM, especially here in Vancouver. Yeah. Let's do this. Okay, I actually started already by adding like these super fine cross-hatched wrinkles. So I just need to break it up more. See intensity, we're in sub mode. Yep. I can actually use the DS mode, it's a bit better. Yeah. Still a bit strong. It's a very gentle thing here. Very finicky, but we need to add this, like it will break the speculars up very nicely. It's interesting how Twitch works. I didn't know that they, obviously it makes sense that they prefer partners for sure. And I'm just trying to connect a few of those pores, like because they would stretch together and just create those wrinkles. So I'm just trying to just always just go through the pores and just connect 3-4 pores like this. It's just, I don't know, it's a very boring task, but it will add nice reflections or breakup of the specular surface, which is pretty cool. And I can show you actually what the current renders look like. Let's see. We are at 10. Let's load this. Hey Vietcong, thanks for following me here on Twitch. Much appreciated. I always, like, I'm not sure, it does not enable ACES on default, the RV viewer, so I always need to set it, which is a bit of a pain. So yeah, this is what the guy looks like rendered right now. And we have different frames. Frame 2 is my favorite, actually. Let's move these guys out of the way. Yeah, you can see my progress. I was playing with the albedos first, and yeah, I think I found a good color. Yeah. So I think the most successful stuff right now is the hair, which works very well. I was looking for eyelashes, but I couldn't see any, so I just think there are none. I just added them very, very small. Maybe not in this version though, but I added like really small ones. And I still need to work on the eye a bit. It looks a bit too, like I need to move up the whole thing. The whole eye a bit. But yeah, so this is where we're at in terms of... Oh no, wait, we have a bit more. Let's see. Dirt Bike 2. Yeah, exactly, David. When are you going to stream? Hey, Necronis, thank you very much for the follow here. And this is a more sunny environment. And this is what my test was. So this is what I changed now. I changed these like dark spots. They were just too intense. So that's what I just did now in the stream. And I reduced everything a bit. Yeah. Anyways, let's just keep going here. And these ones are a bit stretched, but oops, I think that's fine. He's not there anymore. Man, this week went so fast. It's crazy. It's already Thursday now. It's insane. Like, I don't know where the time went. Yeah. Well, work was busy too. Like, there was so much to do. I guess that's why time flies so much. How do I find working from home? I think honestly, I really like it. Like, I think I'm also way more productive because I don't know, like I can just sit and work and put headphones on and just get into it. And if I need to, I can obviously like do personal stuff as well. Like, I mean, like obviously go outside and just catch a break. And I don't know, I have a really good setup because I do also lots of, not freelance work, but projects on the side. So I have a little office room here. You can see, I guess, my background. So I have my own little space here. I can maybe move the camera a bit. So yeah, this is essentially our den. And then, yeah, I'm not sure. My little office here, and I can close it off. So I'm really isolated, which is pretty good. Yeah, in general, I don't know, like it. Yeah, I get that. It's yeah. What I maybe miss a bit is like talking shit with colleagues, right? Just sit there and I don't know, like just get distracted and just talk about weird things, which obviously we can't do now. And we do have obviously Google Hangouts and all sorts, but it's always so official and you can't really joke over there. Oh, you do that with David anyways. So you just like, you're just chatting, or on the phone, or you're not working together, right? I think David is still at ILM, I believe. Oh yeah, okay. Just messages. Jan, shut up. You should come in as a guest and talk some with your French accent. That would be funny. Show off you and bring your cat so you can show off a bit. Jimmy is asking if I'm using Jurgen's HDRIs. I honestly don't know what Jurgen's HDRIs are or how they look like. Let me look it up quickly. Jurgen HDRI. There are so many people doing HDRIs nowadays. Thank you, Liam, for the subscription over here on YouTube. I will need to look them up and see how good they are, especially if they are like have the correct EV stops. Definitely interesting. Well, I have like HI Haven has really good ones, also not so good ones, but most of them are pretty good. So I use them, and I have a few ones which are calibrated, which I don't know, I have I think 24 EVs, which is pretty high, and I mostly work with them. Yeah. Jan, how's it for you working from home? Is that fine? Does it work good? Yeah. Okay. So I think the left eye is a bit better. What I can still do is use the elastic brush and use this alpha, which works pretty well. So obviously it's too strong, but if I reduce the stroke and the intensity, we can get something going, I guess. It's just a faster way to create these cross hatches. It's not there yet. Okay. We want it in the sub mode, and we want to reduce or add lazy mouse like that. Yeah. So this essentially would also add some wrinkles. So if I just drag them in one direction like this, we essentially get the same feel, and it's just a way faster way to do it. And I'm just trying to like use my Wacom and go in the way of the wrinkles in the same direction, so it's just a bit spread out. Yeah, I'm streaming on both. I'm testing this using Restream. That's like a, I don't know, third-party streamer. So you put your stream key to Restream, and they distribute it to both platforms. Yeah, so Jan, so you are actually just doing video chats then with all the guys, I guess, right? So it's just like coordinating, probably, like more than doing actual work then? What? Yeah, I think I heard, yeah, Andre, I think you're right. I think they said, or I read that they have like an exclusive right for like 24 hours, something like that. Yeah. Which is okay, I believe. The Nightbot doesn't like you, Jimmy. What did you say? I think, I'm not sure, I'm like, my mod is not here right now, so I'm not sure how I can maintain the Nightbot. Yeah, I don't know. I guess you can try. I'm not sure if it will ban you or something. I'm not sure. I'm still so new to this, so I have no clue what will happen. So you can see I'm just going over all these thicker wrinkles here just to add more detail. Okay, let's just go outside here. yeah, it's insane. Like, oh man, I'm just too old for this stuff. There's so many things, and like all this stream decks. Like I have like installed like all these freaking funny memes, and like I can do like this with my phone. It's all this weird stuff, right? I don't know. It's funny, but there's so much things to do. And Carlton does some weird stuff too, I think. Let me just maybe hide him. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's called Stream Deck. So you can have, like, you can put memes on it and like hotkeys to stream to Twitter, and I don't know. You can do so many things on this. It's crazy. It's fun, but there's so much effort or thing you need to put into it. Yeah, my mod is living in Germany or in Austria, I think, so he should be fast asleep right now. Okay, so I'm just going really roughly over these wrinkles here just to get a bit more stretch in there. Okay, you can, Jimmy, are you on my Discord? You can just share the link over at Discord and I can just paste them in here then. Or you can paste them on YouTube. If you go to the YouTube stream, if you paste it there, then Twitch will see it because you can see the chat, the full chat on my overlay. So I'm just a bit more aggressive now on these wrinkles. And then also in the ref though, this lady here, you can see that the pores are actually filled in pretty much. Okay. Yeah, so I think I might need to smooth them out at some point just to get them a bit softer, like on these edges, and then we can go back to Maya and just see how that will look. Especially here in this area. Super freaky music tonight. I guess it's just doing all over the board. It's just a playlist I found on YouTube, which is hopefully copyright free, so they will not take it down on YouTube, because in my previous streams I was playing some music from SoundCloud and they were just demonetizing my videos, which obviously sucks. Yeah. Right, I think I'll just want to add a bit more breakup here, so I'm just using the elastic brush. Elastic brush is pretty cool because it will not destroy my high detail pores. So I can just do with this alpha probably, and just add a bit more like grooves in here. My stroke is still on here. Have I seen the latest work from Alex Hewhett? I have not, no. What is he doing? Hey CJ Roy, thank you very much for the follow here on Twitch. Alex, Hugh, I'm just searching it off screen quickly. Oh, he did this guy. Yeah, I know this rendering here. It's pretty cool. Ronaldo. He is, but in SF, or is he here? Concept art. Oh yeah, nice detail. Oh, he's a modeler. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Okay. So I'm just adding a little groove here below the lip. It's very subtle, like it's almost flush here, or at least in the front view it is. So I'm just not trying to go too extreme here. Just to play around a bit. Maybe add a little build up here of skin. And just by hitting Alt, obviously, I can just flip Z add or Z sub. So it's very handy to just quickly change directions. Yeah, he's in ban. They started now to open up the park down here, like from my building there's like a Concord Pacific public park, and I started to open it, which is nice. A friend of us had birthday yesterday, so we went to the park, but we were a group larger than 6, so we could not actually hang out together. So they asked us to leave actually, which sucks. But yeah, I guess safety goes first, but it was still like, I'm not sure. It was not communicated well that you can only be less than 6 people, so it's a bit shitty. Alright, so let's just export this. This will take now a bit of a time to export this to Maya. So in the meantime, I'll just open that and bring in the base color map, and we just play around with that a bit. I just need to set up the exporter quickly. Alright, so let's do this. I'm always exporting on my 3rd subdiv iteration, which might be a bit much, 600,000 points, but it does work well enough. So export this. Yeah, I do sculpt in HD mode, like just for the poor detail. Yeah, have a good night, Johnny. And say hello to Vicky. And yeah, we should get a coffee at Milano soon. It's time for coffee. Yeah. Okay, yeah, the good thing is about HD mode is you can actually get all the detail you want, like, and then you just export as super high-res displacement map. I'm using EXR 32-bit 8K, so it's pretty large maps, but it retains all the detail. That's why I get all the same poor detail into my renders here. Yeah, man, we always went to Milano, so yeah, we went so often. It's just a super great barista there, really good. Alright, so we exported this. I need to go now to the LR, lowest resolution. Let's just export this. Birds and beats, yeah, that's true. That's a good. Import. And now in my multi-map exporter, enable displacement. Enable this guy. Displacement is on level 3, which is correct. And then I'm just hitting create all maps. No, we want to go to it. Is that 22? Yeah. Okay. So this will take a bit of time now. Hey Ian, how's it going? Nice to have you on the stream here. All right, I can also do a little thumbs up for you. Yeah, it's fun. All right, so let me just open up Maya here. And I probably need to reopen it because my DPI is again too small for the stream. So I need to, yeah, it's too small. Dang it. It would be nice to be able to actually set the DPI based on an environment variable. I asked the Maya guys, but it's unfortunately not possible. So you always have to launch Maya, set the DPI, restart Maya. Which is a bit of a shame. And it's so slow to load sometimes. Oh man, Maya is sometimes not so fun. All right, anyways, enough ranting. We will rant enough tonight, I believe. So let's just go to my prefs here and go to display or interface, change it to 200%, close it and come back. There you go. I was thinking today actually to start a new like stylized character. But then I thought I need to finish one project first and then we can keep going. Like maybe if you have seen this in a previous stream, I actually have this guy ready. Where's my Dropbox? I worked on this guy, Beefy Baron, which was a quick side project just to get something, do something different. Come on. So it was a pretty fun project. So again, I did the grooming in Houdini with Groom Bear, played around with the shaders, tried to get it like to a nice like pixel style look. I still need to work on it a bit, but I like the skin detail. Let me actually zoom in here. Yeah, so this is what I was worked on before this. And yeah, the beard is a bit too evenly spread out, I think. And it's the same color, so I would need to add some variation. But it was definitely a fun one. So this one is open. Let's just make sure we set the project here. And in the background, actually, Zbrush is still exporting the map, so it takes around like 14 minutes, I think, to export that map. Thank you, yeah. I actually tried to just crank my render settings super high. Well, they weren't super high, but they were pretty high to get a clean result. I did not do any denoising either, so yeah, it was pretty good. Like, it's always the subsurface scattering, which just takes very long to resolve. But yeah, it was mostly also the lighting, which was helping a bit. So yeah. I guess this one is still loading. Okay. So let's now we need to first create this new base color. Like, I always need to create the TX files. So base color 2. So I go to Arnold TX Manager. Oh, why are they not created? That's weird. Okay, I'm just creating the TX files. I'm surprised that they are not on disk. Anyways, let's just create them. It will take a bit of time so we can talk a bit more. I'm also just checking if yeah. I'm actually thinking of maybe doing a bit more real-time engine stuff. I think that would be also very interesting, especially as like a tutorial content, to actually do some. I'm not sure if I want to go to Unity, but I probably will need to, because at some point real-time will be the future. So I was thinking if I maybe should check it out, how I can work and do some real-time lighting, and then bring this to Maya to run it on Arnold, for instance, and write a little exporter. So I was thinking of doing that. So maybe that would be a nice next project to tackle. Let's actually first see if those maps are now caching. I'm not sure that I don't see it's actually doing anything here in terms of exporting the maps. Oh no, there's something now coming. No, they are exporting. That's good. Just takes a bit of time. Please make it an Unreal. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was, yeah. I still need to get my hands dirty with that. That's my only problem, that I'm not super familiar with Unreal. But I don't want to do a game, right? So I think if I just do some lighting and see exactly how you can do like shadow blockers and gobos and maybe some nice shading, I will have definitely a play with that. Okay, so maps are finally exported. Took some time. All right, so now we are in utility. That's correct. We have a color correct, so I might need to adjust it because I did do some overrides here. And also, this will take some time too to subdivide it. Oh, it's actually on 0. Okay, let's just do it on 1 for now. And let's do a quick save. And then we finally can hit the render button, and hopefully it will not destroy the stream. A video of the most useful nodes on Arnold. I can tell you already, the most useful node for me is the AI range and the AI color correct node. You can see I have it here, I have it there, I have it there. Multiply. But yeah, I can totally make a video. It's not a bad idea, I guess. Yeah, Ollie, that's what I was thinking too. Like, especially if I want to grow my channel a bit, I think I need to target more mainstream topics, and Unreal is definitely super mainstream. Everyone is freaking out about how great it looks. So it's definitely, it's not a bad idea for sure. Is this, oh, we don't want this, we want this, and we want to make sure this is on. We reduce this. All right, so let's just hit render. Oh, one more thing. Depth of field off. And now it will take a bit of time because I already have 600,000 points and it will just quadruple the number, so it will take a bit. Oh man, Blender. I actually have it installed. I had Blender open and man, it's so different. It really is different. Like, ugh. I think it just takes like maybe a week to get used to it. But yeah. But also I think Blender is like really getting way more like a competition for all the big DCCs just because it's for free and they just copy just all the features from all the other DCCs. And that's why they get so large, because they're adding and adding and adding features, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it seems that it gets to work. Every single stream about Blender. Yeah, I know. On my Discord as well, like people always there's like always the Blender group as well. I have nothing against Blender. It's great and people can do amazing content. Like I follow a few guys on YouTube which do some amazing work on using Blender, so that's pretty cool. Hey Lalo Wolf, thanks for the subscription over here on YouTube. A question here, how can I block area light eliminating what's behind it? So you're saying that the light is blocking? When you have a light behind a light, it's blocking? I'm pretty sure it's a physical phenomenon, so I'm not sure, like, especially I'm not sure if you can do that in Arnold to have a light illuminate through another light. I think they are automatically blocking each other. Yeah, the cult, yeah, that's like a really small core of people who are very hard to deal with. Yeah, I totally agree on that. Yeah, you can see it. I'm not sure, like, the thing also with this, once you do the flush caches and delete a TX file, it always needs to load in all the mip maps, and it just takes the first render, it always takes a long time. And you can see it takes a whole long time to start. Yeah, it's funny. What's happening here? Zbrush is still running. Still cooking. And I have a crazy computer. It's not that I have a slow computer here, so I'm not sure. It might just be that my subdivisions are too high. It just takes a bit of time to subdivide this high mesh already. Yeah, so Krakaya, it's not easy to do interior lighting with Arnold. I think you're using Arnold. I'm not sure what render you're using. A trick would be to use portal lights and also add lots of direct light sources on the inside. Like just add ceiling lights, indirect lighting, just to help the render to boost more samples into your scene. And that way it will just resolve faster. And obviously what you should be doing as well is use denoise, so you don't need to render as many samples, and it will still resolve in a clean result, right? So yeah, the render finally started. Yeah, and I think it's a lot better. Like I had to remove those points, and I think I still have it here. Like I reduced these dark points everywhere, and you can see that this render was actually done without subdivisions. So we lost all the nice displacement detail here too. But I reduced just now these really dark liver spots. so it should be a bit better. Yeah, and honestly, I'm not entirely sure. I think I will finish him off fairly soon. Like I will be playing around with the displacements a bit more, but essentially I think I'm okay. I'm not, obviously it doesn't look great. It looks okay, I would say. It's not great, but it's great enough for me for now. One cool thing I added is I added these white hairs. You can also see them in the ref, which do help a bit. No, not on this one. And this one here. So you can see there's like these white little hairs going around, so I tried to add them here as well. And what I did, I went to Houdini and created a another stream of hair, and I just added an attribute to it. And then in the render here and the shaders, I can just break it out. Like I can just say if that attribute is white, I can just assign a different shader essentially to it. So one thing is now I want to move the eyes up slightly. The problem is I would need to resculpt the alignment because right now it's super flush, or I need to do some soft blends here, but we need to see. See, it's a bit like can I actually draw in here? I don't think you know. Do you guys know if I can draw within PureRef? Like I don't think so. It's maybe a feature request we should be asking them to do. So I still need to focus on the eyes a bit. I definitely need to add the carancula, which I don't have right now, like this tear duct, which is, I started with it, but I still need to push it in a bit. And then I need to place some kind of geometry in there as well. And then I think the eyes should be, actually I can do snipping. Windows Shift S to create a screenshot, which should then pop up in here somewhere. There we go. So what I want to do, or need to do, you can see that the eye shape goes essentially like this and then up, and mine is not there yet. Mine does like a little thing like this. So I still have, I think what I want to do is just maybe move the lower eyelid. Like first of all, do maybe a bit deeper, and then just move this up a bit. That it feels like it's a bit smiling, maybe. The peach hair, the peach fuzz or vellus hair, I will add this a bit later. I was looking at the reference and I could hardly see any peach fuzz. There's a little bit around the nose here. So I will be adding this, I think when I'm done, because peach fuzz to do it is pretty straightforward. You just do like you just add fur and just stroke it a bit in a direction. So it's nothing too crazy. Yeah, so right now it's doing this, and I want the eye to maybe go up a bit like this. And then also this shape here is also interesting. All right, is this done now? Yeah, okay, so this map is exported. Now it's doing a quick save on top of that. Let's just model that carancula quickly. Should be fairly fast to do, I think. Where's the tear line? There it is. Oh, sorry, I missed a question, I think. How is the CG industry doing currently during this lockdown? Well, it's not doing great, to be honest. Some companies, obviously the bigger ones, they are able to stay open, but smaller ones are really struggling. First of all, because on all the sets they stopped filming, so there's actually no production going on right now. So that's a big problem for the industry. Right now I'm still lucky enough to have a job, so I'm able to work remotely and still deliver all the, or address all the notes I'm getting and all that. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, no, you're Jimmy. Yeah, I think, you know, it's also, first of all, great to be honest, which is important. I think I need to smoothen them out still. Where's my ref here? Like the pores here, they are there, but they are like very smooth. I just need to smooth them out still. Like I added them, but I still need to get rid of them. And I agree that I might have too many or too many deep ones, but I think there's still smaller ones all over, but they're just not as deep. You can see here and there. But yeah, you have actually a very good point. Thanks for the heads up there. And thanks for the follow, Mark43. Much appreciated. Alright, so I added this little tear duct. So I think I will just put in like a plane first, and then we just go from there. Just hide this. Crazy music again. So let's just start off with a plane, just move it in here. Alright, and then we just want to reduce these things, maybe 2 and 2. And if Andrew's still here, don't laugh about my modeling skills. Okay, so I think this should do, and then it just kind of connects to the eye there. So let's just disable soft select here. And I don't know much about anatomy, so I'm just freeballing it here. The floating photos, it's called PureRef. Let me just type it in here. Man, every stream people ask about it. It's crazy. It's a great little tool to, yeah, work with references. And then the caruncle essentially just connects with the eye. I think my audio is dying again. Let me just double check if it's still good or if I'm back as a robot voice. Let's just check quickly. Monitor on. Yeah, it's dead. Is it good? Oh, man. Okay. It's funny because for me, like if I if I look at the if I play back the monitor, it's like it's super static and it sounds like a robot. Like I don't know what's going on. But if you say it's fine, then we just leave it as it is. Yeah, now sorry, now it should be good again. Alright, I'll just keep going. Just let me know if the audio is weird, because I just thought it was weird. Alright, so let's just move this smaller. It's perfect. Alright, it must be just, I don't know, my computer being weird. Alright, so I got this now, and then I will extrude this one more time. Okay, and then obviously I need to align this to the surface here, which we'll be doing now. So I just move this down. And then F9. Something like this. And I will lay out some UVs on this because I need to add some bump and just break it up a bit. Okay, cool. Long question here. So from my experience using Arnold, is it comparable to Maya's version? You mean like if Houdini's Arnold is comparable to Maya's Arnold version? Pontypants in the building! Woohoo! Nice to have you, man. My new inspiration on YouTube. Cheers. Now we have an echo. We shouldn't. Man, I'm not sure. I hope not. I hope not. No echo. Okay. Okay. I just muted the music now for now. Maybe that's freaking me out a bit. There shouldn't be any difference between Houdini, Arnold, and My Arnold. It's essentially the same core plugin, so all the features and everything is the same on Arnold or on on Maya or on Houdini's side, which is great, right? So you can use the same render and you just feel comfortable directly. Which is cool, and I love it. And I think that Arnold is a pretty good render engine, and it's used in all sorts of production, so it has been tested, and yeah, I just think it's great. So you should not have any issues with Arnold for Maya, no problem. So let's just create a little UV here, if I can. So we have this, obviously, we just generate a UV based on camera. Like that, super basic stuff. And we just need to make sure that I rotate this. So it's side facing like this, so I can apply a ramp because I want to like blend the edge a bit. It will make sense in just a bit. All right, so let's do this. And we just render the eye for now. So I'm just hiding all the stand-ins. We can keep the tier line, hide this. And just have the eyeball and keep the render view on open. Go here. Eco, no eco, that's great. Thanks, Ponty. Well, the music is still busted. Like at least when I listen to it, it feels like it sounds very, very broken. All right, this is what I've got. And where's the eye? Let's bring back the eyeball. There we go. So now we want to like essentially fade it off. So I'm just framing this here, creating a new tab in my attribute editor. AI standard surface, collect the caruncula, assign it, MTL caruncula. Never was a big fan of biology or anatomy, so gotta deal with it. Yeah, Texturing XYZ is definitely a great resource to do realistic skin, and I normally would use it too. It's just like I just wanted to get into more of the technical side of creating skin, like actually going in there and just spend some time and actually sculpt everything from scratch. So that was my motivation, and I think if I would do more characters more often, I think I would just use that Texturing XYZ as well. Yeah, so now we've got a floating eyeball, which is correct. And now what I want to do, if I create an AI ramp like that, and I just, no, we don't want, we want float actually, ramp float. And if I plug this into my surface shader, we should see a ramp on here, hopefully. I need to hit play to update it. So you can see now that I have a ramp from top to bottom. I want it in new direction, so it's from left to right. and I want it to be white most of the time and then fade off towards the end of it, which allows me to blend the edge a bit. Like that. It's just a really gentle refraction fall off essentially. So I'll just plug this into transmission like that, and then connect the shader back. Did I? No, it's fine. It's actually, it needs to go into transmission, and we actually need to flip it, my bad. We actually need to flip it like this. So it's solid, and then it just gets transparent towards the tip here. So now we have a softer blend edge here, so you don't see that hard edge, I guess. Oh, the GPU CPU question. I get that as well quite often. So the question is Arnold GPU or CPU, and I can just tell you that my honest opinion is that Arnold GPU is great, and it has lots of nice features, like it's pixel matching to the CPU, which is amazing. So you can essentially just swap them out. But it's not fully there in terms of speed. It's not the same as it would render in Redshift or other GPU renders. Redshift is a biased render, so it has some limitations in quality or restrictions, I guess. It's still great, but it's, yeah. I'm using GPU when I'm not streaming most of the time, just because it's fast and it's fun to work with. But if I'm streaming now, it's hard for me to actually encode and stream at the same time. And I want to just create an AI noise here, and you can see there's like the caruncular here. It's super dark. I think obviously it's based on also the grade, which is on here. Let's just bring this one up. Yeah, it's barely, like the quality is really bad. Yeah, you can see it's like the same brownish, almost purple color. So if I just connect this to the base color here, I can already see we have something going. I just want to pick, or not pick, but just select the color here, HSV, and go into more like that. And then we can go maybe a little bit lighter. And then one important thing is you just want to apply a noise to it. Sorry, a noise onto the bump. So we create an AI bump as well. And I'm just hooking these two things up like that. And then I just connect that to normal camera. And then we have this, which is luckily great already. So now we can just bump it. And now you can see that there's just some kind of motion to it. So I have two RTX cards, which is obviously super high-end stuff. And they help me do the job. I have lots of VRAM, so I can just throw lots of, especially lots of sim data to it, or if I have lots of geometry. So this is very nice as well to have the option to do all these high RAM applications. So that's pretty cool. So I think the caruncular should be good. I do have two, yes. The good thing is Arnold utilizes NVLink as well. So I have an NVLink bridge, and it treats it as one GPU. So it's super fast. Super fly. Okay, let's bring this guy back and hit render, and now we can see it. You see how fast that was now? Once it's loaded, it's really fast. So obviously I still need to do some color matching here, and I need to offset my ramp a bit. It needs to go a bit more inside, but it's getting there. Yeah, man, I can. Do I have still a substance license? No, actually I don't want to do it because the stream will die then. Yeah, no, never mind. I will do a tutorial soon, and then you can actually see how fast it is. Like, it's actually very fast. And I played around with Redshift 2 and Octane. Like, they have some really nice features. Yeah, I think it's saving here. Come on, I wanted to close it. All right, so first of all, I wanted to offset the ramp here, so my transmission ramp. So right now it's right there. So what we can do, instead of me now fiddling around with the ramp and readjusting it, I can actually create an AI UV transform, which allows me to just offset the UVs essentially. But Maya's acting up again. I'm not sure what it's doing. Okay, so AI UV transform like that, and I can just hook it up now. So just plug this into the pass-through. Can just do this, and then this red channel goes to transmission. And if I visualize this now, you can see that's my ramp, and I hope I can just do an offset. So if I do an X offset, you can see I can essentially just move it. Oh, and then it repeats. That's unfortunate. Can we do something cool here? Wrap clamp? Or is it this one? I was hoping that oh, there we go. None is great. So now I can just offset it, and it's essentially just extends, which is great. So now I can just go back here, and you can see now if I just offset this, that the caruncular is shrinking a bit. Let me just change the render setting so we can actually see something as well. Let's go back to 8. Just will clean it up. So this seems to work quite well. And now I'm just trying to match the colors a bit better. Sorry, you're asking, there's a question like if I can show how to set up Arnold to show rendering. Hey Chris, nah, that's amazing to have you on the stream, man. I'm just trying to get my hands dirty on this. It's super tricky, but yeah, I'm loving it. It's really fun. So I just first need to obviously match the colors here. Let me see where we were. There we go. So I'm just trying to match the eye, like the eye socket here. I'm a bit in the reds here, so I'm just trying to go a bit more on the brownish side, just to match it a bit better. And maybe a bit lighter as well. That was too much, and a bit deset. So yeah, looking at my ref here, it's hard to see anything, but I looked at this guy, and you can see it's very dark actually, and it's almost like a dark purple, I believe. So I'm just trying to get something in that area here. Yeah, and then I still need to move the eyes up a bit because the iris is actually blocked by the lower eyelid, so I just need to move the whole thing up. You can totally do color variations using jitter, yeah. Depending how you set it up, you can just use a jitter color to randomize any color based on object ID, for instance, or you can just assign a parameter or like add a vertex attribute, and you can just use that to shuffle things around. Yeah, so let's see if I just render the eyes now. Let's see what we get. It takes obviously a bit of time. We're rendering in almost 4K here, so it's 1620 by 2025, which is a pretty good resolution. Yeah, so I think the caruncular, I need to mirror it over still. It's a bit too specky. I can just increase the bump a bit and then reduce maybe the speck amount. So let's see, bump map, yeah, that should be an autosave. So let's check the question here. Does one use normal maps and bump maps in addition to displacement, or does it give the wrong shading values? Okay, so two questions. So one is if I use normal maps and or bump maps. So the difference between bump and normal is a normal map has 3 coordinates. It has X, Y, and Z space, so it actually does add more detail to your bumps. And a regular bump 2D node is just essentially going up and down, right, on the mesh, up and down, and the other one goes to the side a bit. So that's one difference. You can link them. You can have a normal map and a bump map together. I sometimes just do it just if I want a specific detail. Oh, uninstall status. I didn't want to uninstall it. So that's one thing. And you can use, obviously, you can use displacements to get your rough shapes and even some more details. But you can also then, once you have your displacement hooked up, you can still add a bump map to add like more breakup and more detail. And yes, you can have normal map and displacement. It's essentially, it's just, you just break it up even more, right? So displacement is actually moving vertices, and a normal map is just changing the shader. So that's the difference. You can connect them and use them together. That should not be any problem at all. All right, so let's see, another DCCs. It has its own view where it's shown time of rendered frame, but in Houdini you can only use its own view where the runtime is not shown. Yeah, that's obviously the problem. The question here is that you can't see the time it took to finish the image in Houdini, but that's just, yeah, that's how the implementation of that plugin works, I guess. All right, so we have this here, and still trying to get the bump stronger. So we can as well add more detail to the caruncular bump. So now this should be broken up a bit more when the update kicks in. Now, come on. Yeah, so now I just increase the bump, and you can see now it's a lot nicer. Maybe it's a bit too strong towards the eye. So what we can do, we can just use the same map which we used, like this transform here, and I can use that just to multiply my bump strength. So right now you can see this is white, and maybe where it's white I want to reduce the bump. So what I can do now is I can just create a what can we do? Yeah, we can just create AI color correct. And if I check the value, it's 390. So I just type the same value into my input map here. So I just go to 390. Make sure I don't have any saturation. It doesn't matter, but just keep it clean. And obviously make sure the 390 is in the rendering space and not on the display space. And what I can do now, I can just use the same output from my black and white mask and use it as a mask slot here and plug the output red to the bump height. So now we should not see any difference. But what I can do now is I can multiply it down to 0, and now we should not have any bump in this area because we use the map. I can show you the bump map. So this is what we did. It's on white. It's like this. And if I then reduce it, I'm essentially just reducing the bump height intensity towards the sclera here. So now this should be a lot smoother. And what we can also do, like we see a little edge here, we can use the same mask as an opacity as well to just get rid of that hard edge too. So what I'm talking about is here, it just maybe helps to get rid of this edge there. There's some little line which is a bit distracting. So you can go in geometry opacity and just plug it in here as well. Maybe without the UV offset. So let's just use the out value, go to opacity. And we might need to flip it because one is fully opaque, and we need to use an AI complement to reverse the map. So we can just plug it in like that. Sorry, so it gets so messy so fast. And then this goes into opacity. So now you can see we got rid of that edge. If I show this, you can see it's inverted now, and now we shouldn't have any line there anymore. And you can see there's like more or less a nice transition. We might be a bit too far still, so I can just offset this even further. Yeah, that was a lot better. So now the caruncular essentially stops in the corner of the eye, and you can still see this pocket over there. It might be a bit too reflective. So we can just, let's actually reduce the roughness to make it a bit more pingy. And then I don't like to do it, but in this case, I'll just, oh, first of all, we can reduce the IOR. We want it to be water. So that should help already with the, you can see now it got a lot less specky because the IOR changed. So that's great. So now let's just stop the render and select this, and then we essentially freeze transforms, modify freeze transform, and we should probably center the pivot or just move it. If I hit 4, isolate it, and just hit DX, D and X, so I can move my pivot, and then I can just go to my this, right click, and then there's mirror, which should drop it on the other side. Alt Shift D to create a delete history. And now hit 5. Now we should have it on the same, or roughly the same spot. Obviously I changed, it's a bit, it's not the same like symmetry, so I could just I need to move it a bit, so I can just use it in face mode. And I can just offset this a bit, maybe move it out a tiny bit. We have grid snapping on, maybe like this. And then we just move this edge down. So it's just touching with this glare here. I think this should do it. Let's just see how this renders. If I save first, and then we just kick off the render. Yeah, you can see this is like a super tedious process, and I was thinking of doing a tutorial about this, but it just would take like, it would take like 10 like, I don't know, 10 parts or something. It would just be insanely long. So I just thought I'd just stream my work in progress here. Did we lose the bump map now, or is it just an update issue? Interesting. Is that because I copied it over? It might be. Let's just do it in world space, or UV space actually. And then we just increase the frequency. Or maybe not 50, maybe 20. Still a bit much. Let's go 12. Dang it, 12, 12. 12 might be okay. Still too much. It's weird that we completely lost it now. Let's just do a force refresh here. Sometimes Arnold bugs out too, so update full scene, which will take a bit of time. So I'm happy to take any questions, right? So we have quite a lot of viewers actually. So 20 on Twitch and 48 on YouTube, which is great. So thank you everyone for tuning in. And as you guys can see, I'm working on my little project here, which is takes some time to work, and it's, for me, it's a really great experience to actually get more into the creative side of things. So this is more or less the current state. Ah, dang it, where's it here? So I did the hair and the headpiece in Houdini. This is all done procedurally. What FOV? Good question. Well, it's starting the render now. We'll check in a bit. I think it's 85 or something. So yeah, hair was done in Houdini, and I added a little bit of really subtle beard hair, which is funny because she's female actually. Yeah, so I did the diffuse albedo in Zbrush, but I'm really struggling to get a convincing look. And the same with the sculpt and Zbrush. And I definitely need to work on the ears. They are just way too smooth. But yeah, so there's still lots of things to do, but I think I will just stop it. Well, thank you that you say that it's super realistic, but I guess it's like, I don't feel that way. Like I still think it's not super realistic. Lots of things to do, and I think that's just because I'm looking at it every day and I just see things which bother me. So we're on 85, yeah, 85 lens here. And I'm still curious why my caruncular is dead. No bumps anymore. Obviously now I disabled it, but I was hoping to actually see more spec here. Diffuse weight. I guess my noise is too strong. Okay, so there it is. And there it is. I really boosted the IR now just to see something. Yeah, on when I put it on 3, it's just a bit much. Let's just see. Doesn't look as much, but I think it's also the bump intensity I have with the color correct. Let's just bring that down. Yeah. This might work better. So let's just get back to correct values here. So let's just use the water preset. And we need to adjust the color, or we can just reduce it here. It's a bit darker now, that's better. Yeah, I like that. I just added a bit more distortion. So now this looks more organic. I like that. Let's see this side. This is still super dry, but I think depending on the angle, you will get it to work, or it will look more or less okay. Okay, so what we can do now is rotate the eyes and hope for the best. So let's see. I have my both eyeballs here. Yeah, right. I agree that you want to see some veins here on the sclera, or something like this guy has, right? It's like some weird thing going over the sclera or over the iris, or something red. So I will definitely need to work on the eye texture as well. Totally will do that. All right, so I just wanted to try to rotate the eyes a bit upwards. And then obviously I would need to adjust quite a few things, I think. So let's just do... So right now it's on 0. Okay, that's good. So I can just move it up by 2 degrees and see how that looks. That's 2 degrees. Let's go 5 degrees. Yeah, that's better. And it might be a bit small still. Like we see quite a lot of eye white. And here it's like covering quite a lot more. And even here you can see it. Like the iris is covering a lot. So I think we just need to adjust the size. Just make the map a bit larger. I think though the rotation upwards is pretty good. And right now I don't think we need to sculpt anything. It's still okay. I might need to move things closer here. Let's try 7. Yeah, let's try this. What if I do it? Okay, so let's try to make it a bit larger. So I'm just creating a new tab here, which just I just use that to frame a new texture or a new shader. So I use a similar approach with the transmission. I just have a ramp in here, which is driven by this map. If I visualize it, this is essentially like a opacity map, which just blends in the iris. So here again, instead of me now shifting this, I can just use an AI UV transform as we did before, and use this as a pass through, and then hook it up to transmission. And what this allows me, as before, I can just hopefully scale it. Let's see if this will work. Actually, I didn't think of it. I'm not offsetting it. I actually need to scale it. So offsetting will do this, which will not help. Can try scale. Oh, scale will work too. That's great. Okay. So obviously we need to scale it uniformly. All right. Is that too large? Probably a bit large. Let's go 0.1. And you can see you can do all sorts of things just using shading networks. You don't need always to go to painting and do it there. So just keep that in mind. You have quite a lot of freedom when you do it in the shader. I think 0.12 is pretty good. This one we still need to rotate up. So let's just move this. What did I do? -7? Maybe -7 is a bit much. Let's do -5. And yeah, good point. MX3KY. I will do some more texture work on the eye, on the sclera. Yeah, let's just bring up the render. Yeah, I think this is already a lot nicer. Just have a larger eye and having it actually be round at the bottom of the eyelid and not like this here, which is a 7. Don't play. Oh, you can see all my little render tests here. Which one is it? F10? Yeah. So what I did have here is it was actually going downwards like this. And what I have now is that it's actually pretty much doing this, which is, I think, way more realistic and matching the reference better. And I think that my border is a bit too crisp. So I can offset, like just make it a bit smoother, just slightly. And this way we would need to do this in the ramp here. So this transition here is where the smoothness comes in. And we can do it a lot more granular if you just click it and you can move the position at the bottom here. You can see now it's softer and we get a nicer fall off. I think this gives also a bit more depth to it. Maybe it's a bit much. Let's go 0.15. Yeah, okay. I'm just taking a quick 5-minute or 2-minute break here, and in the meantime, you can see the render buckets. All right, back in action. And so far, I think we're good. I also got a little snack here. It's a little smoothie I did this morning. It's strawberries and raspberries and all sorts of healthy things. So I'll be slurping that now. The good stuff, good stuff. All right, so let's just let me see if there were any question I missed. Oh, sorry, yeah, Jimmy, I missed your comment, your question. Yeah, they do add up actually. With the NV link, the VRAM gets added up, so that's pretty nice. The recipe. Well, you just throw it in a blender and hit blend, and that's it. It's strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, pineapple, and a bit of ginger, which is great. It's a nice little tip. Add some ginger. Yeah. All right, so it's still saving. I did hit autosave, so it just that's why we see the wheels turning. So do you hear me drink? I'm sorry, like I always hate that when I hear people eat. Okay, so this is what we got. I think it's for me at least, that's my first thing, and I think it's good enough, at least for tonight, I think. So I will try to maybe, oh, I forgot to actually add something, which we need to do so. So I'm jumping here all over. I just wanted to add a little bump to the tear line as well. Just so we don't have a straight line, it's actually a bit bumpy. So let's just zoom in here. What's going on? Okay, took some time. All right, so we're close back to the eye. So what I said, I just want to add a little bit of a bump to the tear line shader. If I can select it. Sure, it's a bit slow again. Hey, much appreciated, Mode. I really, I try to help where I can, obviously. And obviously if I can be an inspiration, that's even better. So I really appreciate that. It's really nice to hear, thanks. So tear line, we have this. We need to add a bit more scale. Let's do 2. We can also look through the perspective camera actually. It will just help to see what we do here. And let's just add a bit more scale, maybe 5. 5 could do it. So let's just hook back up the shader and then go to AI bump. Okay. Also, what you want to do is make sure that it's set to thin. To thin, it's not a thick mesh, so make sure you set this to thin walled, so it's actually not doing refraction. It's so weird that it's doing this weird thing there. Yeah, I definitely can't do close-up renders. This will just not hold up. So close-up, that's unfortunate. Let's just go back to the main cam. Yeah, so now you can see that the tail line is not like it's just not a straight line anymore. There's some kind of wobbliness to it. There we go. It was hard. Let's try 0.2 here. Okay, 0.2 might be a bit too much. 0.1 is good then. We just wanted a very subtle variation there. How do you mean my shading network? Like, I don't have any fancy nodes here. I just have pretty standard nodes I'm using. Most of the time I'm using AI ranges, color corrects, what else? Curvature sometimes, occlusion sometimes, but mostly it's just the defaults. Alright, so let's just stop this here. Hey, Distorted! Good morning. My moderator is back. I had one question, or someone had a question which I couldn't answer. Let me just scroll up here. I'm not sure. Let's see if I find it. I'm looking for a question here. Yeah, I don't know. Wasn't that important, I guess. Alright, so we got this going. I did export a new displacement map a short time ago, but we are not using it right now, which is okay. Oh yeah, you tried to post a link, yeah. Alright, so I can try to do it now just to add a bit more veins to the eyes. Or maybe not, let's see. I'm not sure. Zbrush is not happy right now. What's going on? I'm not sure what's happening. We can probably just terminate Zbrush quickly. I did save it. Okay. So I imported this. So the question is, how many polygons does it have? Obviously this one has a lot, but the low res version has, I think, 40,000 or something. This one has now 600,000. It's called, the task manager I'm using is called hack something. Let me check quickly. Let me first open it and then we can check. What's it called? Process Hacker. It's pretty cool. You can have lots of, you can search in here. You can add these little buckets to your taskbar at the bottom to see GPU, CPU usage and all sorts of things. Okay, let's do this. Let's actually just close it. My RAM is going up. Well, we should be still good on the RAM. Yeah, we're good. It depends how strong your wrinkles are. If you just have like a very young face which don't have much wrinkles, I think you can get away with normal maps. But as soon as it's super detailed and you need to actually have skin folds and stuff, I would always go using displacements. So, where's the eye texture? Interesting. I thought I painted a map in here. That's not so good. Let's see if I can figure this out. Let's go to UV map. It has UVs, that's good. So I can try to import the texture. And yeah, I'm still learning Zbrush. I just started like a few weeks ago, so I'm very new to all this. I think I need to, because if I apply it now, I think I will just apply it on both sides. I don't have a tutorial about this, no. Wow. Yeah, man. Zbrush seems to be killing my encoding or something. Not sure what's going on. So let's just do poly groups based on UV groups. Hey Ra, happy to help, yeah. Glad that I can help you with my tutorials. Okay, so these are my groups. And if I now select this and apply the texture, I'm not even sure why it's offset like this. That's strange. The strain? Does it sound bad again? Oh yeah, true. Yeah, I keep forgetting that. When I import this, I need to flip it. Thank you. Yeah, I forgot it. So let's see. Okay, I think now we should get it. Yeah. It's now very distant, but it might be okay. Yeah. Ugh. Is that better? Yeah, I'm not sure why I have these issues. Is that better? It's now very distant, but it might be okay. Yeah, I'm not sure why I have these issues. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Now it's too quiet, right? It's super messed up. I'm not sure, like I have the Camlink thing on my DSLR and somehow the encoding with OBS or something is not good. Oh shit, man, I'm still struggling. And the worst thing is I can't really test it. Because I always need to be live to actually test it properly. So what's happening with this freaking eye here? I thought I flipped it. Which one is the flip one now? Delay is also back. Everything is falling apart here. Let's apply the same delay. Maybe this is better. Let's just do 233 here. Let me know. I changed the delay now, so maybe it's in sync now. So this one. So it's not better, I guess. Man, it's such a newbie stuff. I need to get this shit working. What if I do... Can I do negative offsets? Oh, for fuck's sakes. Much appreciated. Man, this is so frustrating. I think it's just... I just might have totally wrong UVs here. Like, I might have different ones. Tara, thank you very much for following me here over on Twitch. Much appreciated. Okay, it's possible that I don't have the same eyes here. Like, I think I messed around a bit with that. Let's just see if I isolate them. Shift I. They look the same. Oh, that's okay. I just need to do this. So they are, this is the shape. So I think we have the right shape. Something is weird. I'm not sure why I can't apply this. Maybe I'm just, so it's here. I still need, I probably just flipped it the wrong way. No, this doesn't matter much. Normally you just flip the v-axis, right? Not sure why it's so bitchy. And another one, Kawawuki. Thank you very much for the follow here over on Twitch. We can actually make some thumbs up or something. I keep forgetting how to have these. Let's do this one. Thank you. Alright, I'm still struggling to get that dang texture on it. And I have no idea, like it should be, I know it should be not like that. That's weird. Like if I can, I think show it using the UV master here. Where's flatten? Yeah, that animation is great. Oh, maybe it. Oh man, I don't know why. I think I'm getting dropped frames if I work in Zbrush here, which is very annoying. So we just stop that, and we just keep working in this quickly. I just bring in my maps here. So I just close this. Maybe this will be better. I had quite a few drop frames, so we don't want that. So all I want to do now is get the shader here for my face, and I can essentially just delete him and import the new medium resolution mesh here. It's a sign. It's a sign. It's a sign to stop the stream. But I'm just trying to finish it off. Yeah, I see the cam is dead too. Everything is dying on me. Yeah. So I hope the it's double now. Okay, so now we should be back. I had to swap batteries again, so that you see how fast they drain. Let's see. Should be okay now. Okay, I just stopped working in ZBrush now, so let's just stick with Maya quickly, and then let's just set everything up. So I just minimize this, and I go to subdivs, iterations, cat Clark, and we will do 2 when I do my final render. Or let's just put it on 2 now. It will take a bit of time to set up, but that should be good. And what we need to do as well, go to my displacement here and switch this from 21 to 22. And one important thing which I have set up here, the mipmap bias, I set this to -2. What it means is whatever Arnold thinks is a good mipmap level, I want it two mip maps higher, like better resolution. And essentially a mip map is a smaller version of your map. So if I have 8K, there will be a 4K, there will be 2K, 1K, 512, 64, 128, 64, and 32. So they will have all these sizes stored into that TX file. And based on the distance to camera, Arnold is clever enough to pick a mip map, which is more efficient to render. And normally this is on 0, which means it will just take whatever Arnold thinks is correct, which is most of the time just perfect. But what I'm doing here with the mip map bias -2, I'm just saying whatever Arnold thinks is correct, I want it 2 resolutions higher. So essentially I'm forcing it to always pretty much take the highest. So TX Manager, I need to create this. Make sure it's set to utility raw. And then I'm just creating this, which will take a bit of time again. And then we will just check the render if everything is good, and then I'll just kick off a overnight render and I will showcase them tomorrow. And I can't wait to get my AC power for my camera. That way I can ensure that I don't need to swap batteries all the time. And luckily enough for me is that I have 2 batteries, so I don't need to we can have longer streams, which is good. All right, so map is exported. Everything seems to be going to plan now. Let's just save this and then we'll just start the render, then we should be good. So do you guys have any more questions, like general questions about Arnold, look dev lighting, general stuff about the stream? Anything? In the meantime, we wait for the render to start. Let's see if we can play this back. I guess not. Yeah, it's still processing. Good question. Is my displacement mid value set to 0? Is it 32-bit? It's both actually. So it's set to 0, which is the default for Zbrush, and then I export it on 32-bit. Yeah. Okay, Jimmy, that's fair enough. So this will just take a long time to at least initialize it. But it's pretty impressive. Like, I'm rendering all the hair and all the crazy displacement detail, and it's 4K essentially, and it's pretty fast. We just need to get it to start and then we're good. Hey, W stands for thank you very much for the follow here on Twitch. I will be hosting another stream on Saturday. I'm trying to do it around 10 a.m. PST time, so I can target a broader audience. And yeah, so keep it posted and be sure to follow or subscribe so you'll get a ping about this. And Shader's saying thank you very much for the follow here on Twitch as well. And now you can already see I added more of these little lines in here, and you can see they help already quite a lot to get some detail in. I did some below the eyes as well. And yeah, I still need to work on the sclera map. It's a bit too yellow. I need to add some veins to it, which was a nice suggestion in the chat. Yeah, as I said, I'm happy with the hair and the headpiece here. And I still don't have any color grading to this, so I will try to maybe add a bit more color correction after. Maybe I need to do some paint work or something, I'm not sure yet, but I think I definitely will try to push it as much as I can. What happened now? Oh, I just changed frames here. Let's go back to frame 2. Or frame 3, which one is that? These are my different render frames I'm testing out. This one is something that's very nice. You get some really nice reflections. Let's bring back the depth of field. That always is a nice little thing to add. Yeah, I think this lip here is a bit too bulged out. It needs to be actually flat, but yeah, we'll see. Let's see, where is my render settings? Okay, so this is now with depth of field. Obviously it will get super blurry, but the focus should be on the front eye, and if I can bring it in here quickly. I hope I still have it here. Yeah, exactly. Why am I rendering you? Nah. Let's see, my images, and this is frame 1. Let's just drop it in here. Where's frame 1? Yeah, you can see the depth of field. It's pretty cool actually. It's not too much, I think. Yeah. So my render settings for this are 12.111, I think it was. And we can also now just render the final buckets just to see what we're getting. This is something I always do before I kick off renders. I just render really small regions in my final render step, just to evaluate all the detail I need or get, and especially to get rid of all the noise, right? Yeah, so it's actually fairly clean now. Let's go check out this area here. Man, they're still, I think they're still working on adaptive sampling. Sometimes I get good results with it, and sometimes it's just way slower. Like, I don't know. We can test it quickly. So this took 18 seconds now, right? So if I go maybe 4 for my minimum and do this. This is now very high settings, I think. I should have saved the image maybe. You can see now this text very long already. Maybe let's just bump this up first. So this is now on. This took 8 seconds. Let's just store this. Hey Palmy, thank you very much for the follow here. Much appreciated. So this is stored now. Let's just go back to, I think I had 12. How long did it take me to sculpt the face? I think the sculpting process, like just to get the rough shapes, was fairly quick. Like I think like a couple of days. But then adding all the details and wrinkles, that took me a long time. So I think overall I spent maybe already like 8-hour day work, maybe 1.5 weeks I spent on them already. Alright, so this is now 17 seconds with 12.111. This is 8 seconds. Obviously it's way more noisy. So let's just try to dial in those settings. So if I go back down to 4, and then I bring back my AA samples. Okay, so this is now essentially the same. And now let's just reduce our threshold to 0.02 maybe. Let's see how long this takes. Yeah, you can see now, even with this, it takes a lot longer, and it's still super noisy. So this took 33 seconds. This is without adaptive, and this is with adaptive. You see the difference? I'm not sure if it comes through the stream, but it's a huge difference. And it's shocking, honestly. It's super shocking. So you can see why I disable it. It just doesn't work for me. Like if this gets clean, I don't know, and 17, like half the time, right? Boom, almost done. And I like we have the caruncular in here now. We have a nice breakup on the tear line. I still think what I need to do manually, I need to go back to Houdini and just move these toruses so they are not actually going like intersecting with each other. But then I think the headpiece is pretty good. Alright, let's see how much we have depth of field, if that is resolving. Yeah, I think depth of field is pretty good. So what I want to do this time for my overnight renders, I want to make sure that I'm outputting the denoise AUVs, these ones here. And I want to make sure that I am merging, which is on. I don't want auto crop on. So that's pretty good. We can also render half precision. It just means it's 16-bit. It's just a smaller file size, and if you don't do super high intense renders, like high energy, I think that's totally fine. All right, so my render setup, I'm always running these 4 HDRIs here, so that's good. Let's just bump up my version here, and then we hit save. Oh, actually, let's just check if I need all the 3 frames, because I'm not sure if I really like all 3 frames. So 7. What, a frame? No way, no, it's not that long. It's we can check here. It's essentially 20 minutes a frame. So it's not bad at all. Ooh, yeah. Well, I'm just checking the timestamps, right, when it was created. So it was at 8:25, 8:45, 9:17. So it's not too bad. So I have frame 1, 2, and 3. Let's just drop them. So I have the full face, which is my main one. Then I have this one. I have this one. I think we can skip one. I like this one. Maybe we can skip this one. Or do you guys think I should keep all 4 frames? Like, would you say they are beneficial to have all 4? Huh. So this one, close up. It's actually, I might need to just keep, yeah, let's just keep them. What the hell. And we got another follow. Kishore Chuan. My God. Man, I'm having such a hard time. Okay, so I think we're good. So all I need to do now is just kick off the render. And then we have all the setups are in place. Just double checking with 2 bounces. Let's actually render the specular as well. Let's run those 3 and those 3 and those 3. Okay, so I'm just outputting a few more AOVs as well. All right, I think that should be it. So yeah, I guess if you guys followed me from the beginning, I first started off with some more diffuse map fixing. The player, sorry, let's answer the last question. So the last player I used was RV, which is a Shotgun product or Autodesk product, I think. I thank you very much. There's a sub here over on YouTube. Thank you. Yeah, so thanks everyone for joining in. Today I was working on my little portrait project. I was working on the diffuse maps a bit. I did some minor sculpting, and then we did lots of look dev work and fixed the eyes. And we got another follow. This subscription. Thank you, Distorted. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, so I might be streaming on Saturday again, and I hope I can fix all my issues I'm having with my stream here. So yeah, thanks everyone, and I wish you guys a happy Friday. And a great start in the weekend, and as always, stay safe and happy rendering.